Which nail does Harley Quinn hate to hammer? Her fingernail. Welcome to the greatest DC comic show on YouTube. Welcome to Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. The Themyscirian Embassy is checking in tonight with snow and rain, and the Themyscirian is over all of it. But I hope that you're doing well and that you've had a great weekend. It's nice to be with you once again to talk DC Comics on a very exciting show. Nobody is backstage for me currently, but I'm here with you. And that's all that counts. We'll start out, first of all, if you're watching on the rewind, certainly do appreciate you joining. Shall be interesting, especially if I remain the only person who ends up backstage. But thank you for watching on the rewind. If you're watching in the live chat, thank you as well. And I'll be throwing some shout outs as well to those who've dropped comments in, starting with John's Comics with Kids, who is first in the chat tonight. Great to have you here. It's also great to have here Signature King Tony, my co-host.
Hello, how are you?
Good, and how are you?
Another beautiful day in the comic book collecting community.
Sure is. Did you get a chance to go to your LCS this past week, or how was your week?
I did. I went to the LCS. They're around here somewhere, those books. But yeah, it was a pretty good week doing some packing, for an unexpected comic book journey. So I think I may have bitten off a little more than I could chew. So probably gonna have to downsize that just a little, because that list keeps growing a lot. So
started out like this. Now the list is like this.
Yeah, and it's putting me in a tough spot. I really got to make some tough decisions.
Yes. Plus, you always have to be ready for what you're not ready for. That's one thing I've learned.
Yes.
Which means you have to save room for stuff that you don't expect to be coming home with that you could. Yes.
So there's a lot of people that I have never met before, but have the opportunity to meet. So it's like, who do I prioritize? I don't know. I'm sure I'll make a decision the day before.
That's right.
And then when I get there, absolutely regret
it. That's the way to do it. So we're getting ready to start talking about some DC Comics news of the past week. I can start out if you're not ready.
Sure, yeah, go for it.
So it was announced that DC is going to do a George Perez themed variant cover month in June, which June is the month that he was born in. So that's always cool that they do it kind of to honor him. And in the early 1980s, George Perez did a DC Comics Justice League postcard set. They are using those images that have been recolored as the variant covers. And not every book, or actually I should say not every postcard art is going to a book. There's some that they didn't end up using. But let's go through, Tony, and look at some of these, and I'll be curious to know which your favorite one is and your least favorite one is, okay?
All right.
So here we have Aquaman.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then, and that will be for Aquaman number 6. Batman 161. Now, I've heard some people not into this picture.
I could see that. I could see why.
It's a little bit different. That's for sure. Birds of Prey 22 is going to feature this Black Canary variant cover. I kind of like that. Green Arrow 25. I think this is another really good one too.
Ooh, I like that one.
I like how the bullseye looks like the sun in the background too. That's kind of cool. Green Lantern 24.
I like that one. As a Green Lantern fan, I can respect it.
Justice League Unlimited number 8. Now, this was actually used as a cover on a Justice League Index, which wasn't published by DC Comics in issue 1, but they're recycling this image for this because it definitely wasn't widely seen. Superman 27 will feature this variant.
Interesting.
The Flash 22 has some
I like
Barry
that one.
Allen Flash, yeah. Wonder Woman 22 features this. I have in my collection the original postcard of this.
Really?
I do.
Very nice.
And the final one, Zatanna number 5, with that Zatanna Perez costume. So, which is your favorite out of those, and do you think that you'll end up getting any of those?
I'm going to try to get them all,
Okay.
to be honest with you. But if I had to pick one that I think is the best, I like the Zatanna.
Yeah, the Zatanna is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've always wondered what that thing on her head is. It looks like an armadillo.
Maybe it is.
Could be.
An enchanted armadillo.
Yeah. Obviously, I like the Wonder Woman one. But after that, I really like the Justice League one. But I think the Green Arrow one is pretty cool.
Green Arrow's cool. I honestly, it's
Canary.
weird to say, but I would say Batman's probably the worst.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people just say that they just didn't care for the Batman one.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
you don't hear that very often.
No, that's why it's so strange.
Yeah. So that's some beginning DC comic news for us. You know, in the past, we've talked about the fact that there is a Superman 233 facsimile coming out on April 9th. That's the one, the Kryptonite Nevermore, where he's breaking the chains.
Mm-hmm.
They have also announced that there's going to be the regular cover, the Superpowers variant cover, which I think we've shown on the news blip on the show in the past. There's going to be a blank sketch cover for that as well.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I can share and show what those end up looking like too. So that's your 3 options there for that.
Ooh, that blank cover orange? Okay.
Yeah, that orange.
That's unique.
And since we're talking about it, it's on the same page too. There's a treasury-sized Batman facsimile that's coming out that's going to have the regular cover, a foil cover, and a sketch cover. Now I think the only other sketch cover they've done in the treasury size was the Superman versus Muhammad Ali.
Okay. Yeah.
That one is coming out. This treasury is coming out this upcoming week.
Yeah. Probably not going to pick it up.
Okay.
But it's you know, I can see the draw to it though.
Sure. DC has announced an upcoming new miniseries, New History of the DC Universe by Mark Waid and a team of artists that includes one of your favorites, Jerry Ordway. The series is going to kick off on June 25th. There is a ton of variant covers for it, and let me show you. I think this first one is the main cover, I believe. It's going to be a wraparound. These are not all of the covers, but let me share some of the covers with you. What do you think of this, Tony?
Wow. There is a lot going on there.
I mean, I think any hero you would like is probably in there somewhere.
Yeah, there's the Marvel family.
Mm-hmm. I see Wonder Woman over here. See the Shazams up here. Got Dr. Fate right in the middle.
That's pretty cool. I like it.
So let's look at some of the variant covers for it, okay?
Okay, let's take a peek.
This is the Ryan Sook variant.
All right, it's pretty good.
And then this next variant plays off of that cover.
Who does that one?
That's Ryan Sook as well, because he did the art on the other one, yeah.
Gotcha, okay.
And then another variant, the Michael Cho.
Michael Cho.
Yeah, a lot of the JSA characters on that one. Then I really like this Dan Mora Wonder Woman.
Oof. Yeah, that's a nice one.
There definitely are other variants that are coming. I know that Art Germ has a Wonder Woman variant for this series as well.
Dan Moore, whatever he touches turns into gold, really.
Yeah. So I think that's interesting that they're kind of restructuring, the history of the DC universe, so to speak. Actually, you know what? I have to take it back. That first cover that I showed you, that is not the main A cover. I do have the main A cover for you to show you, though.
I was going to say, that's a banging A cover.
Here's the main A cover, which is wraparound as well.
Oh, that's still cool, though.
That is pretty cool.
Who did that one?
That's Chris Samney.
I'm not sure I know who that is.
Okay. So, and if you remember in the 80s after Crisis, they did these two books, which were the original history of the DC universe. George Perez and Marv Wolfman, yeah.
Man, legends.
Yeah, it kind of surprises me almost with as many reboots as we've had to the universe that they haven't done something like this earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I do have news.
Yeah.
Not good news.
Uh-oh.
And this directly affects you too.
Uh-oh.
So there is an artist who said that they probably are done with conventions.
Okay.
Forever.
Okay.
And you're going to be mad.
Okay.
Jose Luis Garcia Lopez.
I have his autograph, so I'm very fortunate. I would like to have met him.
Yeah.
He is doing, he was at PlanetCon this weekend.
Yeah.
And I would imagine whatever conventions he's confirmed, he's still going to do.
Yeah.
And then probably after that, because he is booked in Heroes Con for this summer.
Yep. He's booked at Baltimore as well this fall.
There's one more thing I'd like to get signed by him. It's not the end of the world if I don't.
Is it
but that said,
the art book that he's
the style
released?
guide, yeah.
I'd
like to get the style guide facsimile signed. Hello to Super Russ, who's joined us. Is it just one of those getting older, hard to travel things?
He's having some health problems, and it's traveling isn't helping.
That's fair enough. He's done a lot of them. He has not shied away from making appearances. So,
yeah, and my daughter met him once when she was like 4, and he loved her Wonder Woman outfit so much that he gave her a quick sketch for free.
Wow.
It was a nice head sketch, but it was something that people were paying a few $100s for that she got for nothing. So I'm very fortunate for that. So, I'm mixed feelings. Like, I don't want him to be done, but that's very selfish of me. But I, at the same time, understand it. He's not getting younger. He does do convention-wise. He does a lot. I can't imagine he's making very much money at conventions because he's giving away signatures for free. So I don't know. It's one of those times where I think this legend's probably gonna hang it up, and that's sad.
So underrated. Even though he's done so much, and people acknowledge how much he's done for so long, still underrated. To me, if there's a Mount Rushmore of comic book artists, he's on it.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. So, I agree. Done a lot, but and I think this makes sense that we're seeing these Jose Luis Garcia Lopez stuff. We did the style guide. He did that run on the most recent one where he did a cover for everybody, an old 80s style throwback. Now we're getting another one of these, the postcards, whatever.
Well, that one's George Perez, though.
Or George Perez, yeah, George Perez. But I guess that's what DC is also aware. Someone told me that that's why he's getting all this attention lately, because they're giving him a quick tribute.
But you know what? I would rather have him be around to see it.
Oh, yeah. I same way. I'd rather have him be around.
Yeah. I want to say hi real quick, 1 second, to White Tiger, cool, calm, collected. Muabunga, dude.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just unfortunate, but
It is.
hey, like you said, he's gonna live forever, essentially.
Oh yeah.
So that's good to think about. Again, I'm very fortunate to have met him. I know you met him a couple times. And he made my
No,
daughter's
actually,
first...
I have not met him. I just
I
have
thought
his
you said you did.
autograph. No, I have his autograph.
Okay. Well, I mean, if he's continuing to go to these shows that he's already committed for, you might get your opportunity. Yeah, just
okay.
That's bad news. We don't often talk about bad news here on the Fanboys, but it's just life. But what a legend
for sure. And just to reiterate, he's not gone.
He's
still
not gone.
With us.
He's hanging up his artist hat, and he's
quitting the convention circuit.
Yeah, he's probably going to, enjoy his time with his friends and family. Which, I can't blame him for. Absolutely cannot.
For sure. In other news, DC continues to capitalize on the upcoming summer release of the Superman movie because the very first appearance of Krypto is getting a facsimile.
Jeez.
Adventure Comics number 210. And look at Krypto with that safe. I want to tell you, I've never read this book, but I think I might pick this up because it looks fun. I think it looks fun.
Yeah.
And this, there will be a foil and a blank sketch cover version. This is all coming out June 18th. Another classic comic book, a Golden Age comic book that has a very recognizable cover, is going to get a facsimile release also in June, I believe. And that is Batman number 9.
Batman number 9.
You recognize that cover, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, that's a classic. Originally done in 1941. Bill Finger story, Bob Kane art, foil and blank sketch options, June 11th. That will be coming out.
Very cool. All you facsimile boys out there.
That's me. I know it's not
Must
so
be
much
very
you,
happy.
but that's me. We talked as well, since we're talking about Batman, we'll talk about new Batman releases. Remember how I said that Batman 158 is coming out in an 11 by 17 giant size special edition format?
Mm-hmm.
They have now said that every installment of the 6-part Hush 2 is going to be available in that size as well.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'll have to keep my eye on it. I'm curious. I just want to see how it looks,
Yeah, I was kind of, and it looks like I've got a cover here for, I believe this is the A cover for it. Let me share that. I think that art looks good.
Yeah, the art looks okay. Yeah.
So originally when they said 11 by 17, I was like, I know some people are like, that's a storage nightmare. I was kind of like, I might want to pick that up just because it's the first comic book in a new format of sizing wise. But now that they say there's going to be 6 issues of it, then it sounds like there's a quick break and then another 6 issues. I don't know. That seems like a lot.
I'm trying to find something that's 11 by 17 to compare it to, but
I mean, there's a lot of picture frames or photos or something that you have that might be 11. I mean, it's an easy size to frame, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I think this is slightly larger than 11 by 17, I think. What size is this?
That's 16 by 20?
Yes. I don't think so. I think it's an off weird size.
It is?
Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't recall. Still cool to look at, though.
Yeah. And while I'm talking Batman, some weeks we're like, I don't think there's much news to talk about. This is not one of those weeks.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, I do want to say before I continue on, Old Wolf is with us. Hi, Wolfie. Hope that you're doing well. Love to have you on the show when you're not D&Ding some Sunday night. Batman Year 1 is going to be turned into, on DC Comics YouTube channel, it's going to be turned into a DC podcast. And this is going to kick off April 2nd.
So they're just reading the story and turning it into like an audiobook kind of thing?
I guess they must be. So the series will have a new episode every Wednesday, with the first 2, Batman issue 404 and 405, going live on April 2nd.
Okay, yep.
The episodes are available anywhere you get your podcast and on the DC Comics YouTube channel. So that is coming.
Very cool. Very neat.
Yeah. What else do you have?
A couple things. We talked about Sergeant Rock movie, and Daniel Craig was supposed to play Sergeant Rock. He's out as Sergeant Rock. Well, DC, I guess, has already approached somebody that's already in the DC universe to play Sergeant Rock. Did you hear about it?
Is it Gal Gadot?
No.
Oh, no, then I didn't.
It is none other than Colin Farrell, the Penguin.
Oh yeah, I did hear that. Now that you say that, I did hear that. The Penguin.
Yeah. So it's weird because he's in Matt Reeves' Batman verse and he's coming over James Gunn's side. And the extra rumor that tags along with that is the Batman 2, Matt Reeves' Batman is, I mean, it's been seriously delayed. But I guess rumor on the street is it got the delay of death. It's just going to be kicked down the road so far. It's just going to drop off and get canceled.
Okay.
I mean, even if that does happen, the Batman is still a good standalone single shot Batman movie. And it's got, life after it in the Penguin. I mean, we'll see. They delayed it until 2028. It's supposed to come out next year, but it got delayed until 2028. And they weren't really saying why, which I thought was weird, just delayed to 2028. But doing some reading, I guess they didn't want two Batman movies in the theaters at the same time because they think people would get confused by that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, listen, Batman's one of those people. He just draws people. You know what I mean? You don't have to.
Yeah.
But you're right. I would agree that would be dumb. Like if they had the same kind of showing premiere, like they're literally playing at the same time. That would be really stupid. But also a really fun afternoon. If you just go out of one theater and into the next.
Yeah, I guess.
That would be pretty cool. But yeah, Batman 2 delayed until the end. It just says December 2028. So they're going to delay it again.
Yeah.
We'll see. Time will tell.
Can I address something that's coming out this upcoming week that we haven't talked about on Fanboys? And I don't want to spend a lot of time, but it is a character we will be talking about tonight with the Retro Review. Why is DC doing a fartacular special on Harley Quinn? Who approved that? Who approved that?
Yeah, I don't know. And I agree. It makes me confused. Like, really?
Yeah.
What are they going to do now? Like, Joker's underwear? You can get the Joker underwear variant?
Yeah, I mean...
And it's supposed to have, a scratch and sniff kind of thing, too?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, that's like elementary school humor.
Yeah, and it's not that it's a Harley Quinn thing that I'm not for. I mean, put that on any superhero.
I don't want that on any superhero.
I don't want that on anybody.
Yeah.
Come on. But, of course, for all you... Yeah, but... of course, for all you Harley Quinn diehard fans or just plain weirdos, they're going to sell it all.
Okay.
I'm curious now. I'm going to ask my LCS next week when I go and ask, how many people have pre-ordered this? Or has anybody pre-ordered it?
Mm-hmm. I should ask mine, too.
Because I'm curious. I'm just wondering. There is. Did you see some of the incentive covers?
I glanced briefly, and then I'm like, I don't need to be spending my time looking at this.
Yeah, it's not worth a whole lot of time, but there's some weird ones. There's definitely some weird ones. And I guess each one has a different smell.
Okay.
So if you're into that, I mean, cool.
Whatever.
I cover gimmicks are really cool. The one that recently came out that I thought was really neat was Crazy Jane, when she's looking in the mirror and you have to scratch the mirror to figure out who it is. I thought that was pretty neat.
That's different. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you hear who's coming to DC Comics?
Like comic side?
I mean, I guess they're a DC Comics character now.
Oh.
It's a real person.
All right. Who?
Guy Ferrari from Food Network.
Oh yeah. He did the Batman Superman cover. I saw.
Yeah, The World's Finest 37. It's a Dan
World's
Mora
Finest.
cover.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Didn't they do like a Jerry Seinfeld cover too?
I don't know about that, but I can show the guy cover.
Yeah, it wasn't not for this issue.
Well,
but
that's
they did
not final, but it's there. You go.
Yeah, they did a Jerry Seinfeld one too. It was just as unique as that. Not sure why Guy Fieri made the cut, but sure, whatever.
I don't know. I see him in Walmart in the frozen food section, in the single guy meals section.
Yeah, single guy meal section. Also married guy section too, by the way.
No, those are double meals. Single guy section is just one portion.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to pull up the assist for the retro review, you picked tonight's retro review. We're kind of doing, we've been so fortunate to have some great guests the last few weeks, but tonight's just us. And it's kind of a family show, I guess you could say. And why did you pick tonight's retro review? Besides being a big fan of one of the characters, why did you pick this? Why does he laugh when I say that?
I mean, I can't escape it. Why do I pick it? Probably because, other than the fact that you're right, I am a big fan of the team. But I thought that this particular run had movie potential.
Okay.
And reading my issue again, even though it's probably been since like 2014, 2015, but I really got the vibes like, man, this would have been a really good movie. Really good movie.
Okay. So here's our cover we're doing from the New 52 era. We're doing Suicide Squad, issues number 1 and issues number 2. And I can kick us off with issue number 1. So we start out and we see torture, and it's Deadshot, and he's kind of strapped to this table, and there's someone in a mask that is trying to convince him to give up some information, and his motivation by doing that is by essentially making these rats that are on top of him very angry. So the rats start to bite and attack Deadshot and start gnawing in on him. And then as we expand on, we see that we have the full Suicide Squad are all captured. So here we have Harley Quinn, we have Black Spider, El Diablo, King Shark. Is it Voltaic? Is that right?
Voltaic. Yep. Voltaic.
Yep. And Savant. So they've all been captured. Kicked in the Teeth is the name of the story. As we continue on, tell us who sent you is what the man in the hood is asking. And Deadshot's not giving up the information. And the guy threatens, maybe there's someone special in your life and I'll just pay her a visit, unless you give me this information. And he's thinking about all this torture is just crap, and he's like, he needs to be settled like I settled all of my business. And then we flash back into the past where Deadshot was hired to take out a senator. And he's very close to doing so when Batman stops him, and it's the first time that he ever misses his shot and his kill. He says, Batman cost me the kill shot, so he gave Batman something to remember him by, which is grazing him in the shoulder. Now we cut back to present day, and he's still not giving up the information that they want. So we turn now to El Diablo, and they're torturing him as well, and he's taking it. And he's like, they're asking, they're really trying to get their goat, so to speak. How did a hood rat like you end up in a group like this? Aren't you out of your league? And he says, why don't you let me up and find out? And he flashes back into his past where while they're pouring salt on these wounds and hurting him, he's remembering when he tracked down some bangers who had stolen from him. And when they wouldn't pay him back, he let loose with a blast of fire in their hideout that ended up burning everyone inside to death. But he also ended up killing innocent women and children in the process, which he didn't realize. So when the police came for him, he just surrendered. So they turn over to Harley Quinn next. And they're taking like the alligator clips from a car battery and hooking it up to her cheeks and trying to shock her. And I like the fact that she says, "Oh, and Scarecrow called. He wants his laundry back." You know, roughing the guys up a little bit for wearing the mask that they're wearing. And they jump back into her past, and she remembers a time when she was definitely out to impress the Joker and trying to deserve his love by killing every lawyer who helped put him away. And then she dances with their corpses. And on this one occasion, Black Canary discovers her, and she seems a little bit sympathetic towards Harley's plight, but she arrests her nonetheless. So they turn over now to Black Spider, and they talk about him and Voltaic just very briefly, and they're still not getting the information that they want. For a moment, that they believe that King Shark could be dead because of his exposure to heat lamps. As they start to get a little bit closer, he was kind of playing possum, and he chomps violently through the captor's arm, and he's grinning and demanding more meat. So he's kind of freaking those guys out just a little bit. Story continues on where we have Savant. He's watching everything that happens, and he starts to break under the pressure of having hundreds of bugs crawling all over his skin, and he's freaked out just a little bit. So Savant says that they're known as Task Force X on paper, but really the guards remember them or refer to them by a different name, which is the Suicide Squad. And when they were on death row at Belle Reeve, their cells were filled with this gas, and then that knocked them out. And then they were injected with microbombs in their neck, which could be detonated at any time to ensure their compliance. So they had these weeks of training, and they were sent on their first mission to extract a rogue agent and bring him back dead or alive. So half the team goes busting into this cabin where their target was housed, and as soon as they entered, Deadshot had fired a bullet through the target's head. And what they realize is it's a dummy who's outfitted with a bomb to blow up in seconds. And those that made it out and those that stayed behind were soon captured. And that's how they all ended up waking up essentially in this torture chamber. So with Savant saying this and his story kind of being shared, they figure that they have no more need for him, and it looks like they kill him. And the remaining 6 members are kind of like upset with him and his failure just to keep his mouth shut about the situation. And the lead torturer decides that they're done, and each of them has a bag placed over their heads, except King Shark, who needs a little bit of cattle prodding. And later the squad is gathered in the cargo hold of a plane, and their torturers offer one last chance. They demand to know who the squad's employer is, and they say that they think it's Amanda Waller. And all 6 of them refuse to give anything up. And finally the bags are removed, and this voice comes over the PA system. And when it starts to speak, it sounds like Amanda Waller. And they hear, your first mission is the Megadome in Mississippi. It is Amanda Waller, who's essentially said to them, this was the true test. You know, you're the only 6 out of 37 candidates who failed to break under pressure. So you've passed the test now. You are the Suicide Squad. And what you all went through was a complete setup. Your real mission takes place immediately. You're going to the Megadome in Mississippi and wipe out the entire stadium. 6,000 people, and you have to do it within 6 hours. They drop them out of the bottom of the plane, and the issue ends. So, wow.
Yeah. This is, like I said, there's a lot of cool stuff. And issue 2 is, I mean, it really starts to get really chaotic. So here's Deadshot kind of introducing the team, even though we kind of just met him on issue 1. And yeah, they're here to get the package, so to speak. Only, I mean, I won't spoil it for you, but only one of them knows what the package is and what needs to be done. Only one of them is being fed actual information from Amanda Waller. But yeah, they get into the stadium and they think the Justice League has arrived. So yeah, oops. Not the case.
Yeah.
Not quite. But Diablo is very sympathetic to civilians, and that's kind of what's happening here. This gentleman comes running up and he's kind of explaining to them what happened. Like, everyone just started eating each other. All 6,000 people. We don't know what's happening. Please help us. And King Shark was just ready to eat him, but he was stopped. And that's kind of funny. I like that part of King Shark. Just ready to eat people, no matter what. And here he is. He's kind of reminiscing about how this whole thing happened. As they're getting ready to sing the Pledge of Allegiance, it started off as just a minor fight on the field. It looked like a fight on the football field, but not even 10 minutes later, the whole stadium is in a panic and people are eating each other, and the exits are all sealed and the military's outside. Anyone who anywhere stands near an exit gets shot. So that's no bueno. And then Deadshot says, "Thanks for the intel," and then shoots him right in the head. And Diablo is mad at Deadshot for doing that. But Deadshot proves to be a great decision maker because he noticed that the guy's hand, and it's not quite like a zombie virus, so it seems like that. So if you look here, see if I can zoom in a little bit. On the hand, you see these wires. It's not really a zombie virus. It's more of a nanovirus. It turns people into like living robots, more like a cyborg. But anyway, so Harley Quinn is very excited. She loves zombies. But as they move on to secure the package, they notice that not everybody is dead. Some people are just laying there and they come back to life as you get close. But Voltaic is able to absolutely fry people like to dust. So that's pretty unique. And Deadshot says, "Hey, I absolutely love that. That's a cool trick. I need like 12 more of you." Yeah, and El Diablo, like in the movie, he's very hesitant to use his powers. So he's fighting off these zombie things with like football equipment. Yeah, so they get encounter with a few more of them, and they split up. Diablo says, Voltaic says, "Diablo, you take Black Spider and Looney Tunes," which I thought was pretty funny. And Harley Quinn at this point is talking to a El Diablo. She's trying to understand, like, why aren't you helping? Like, don't you want to have any fun? And he's like, killing innocent people isn't fun. And in mid-sentence, they get interrupted by one of these big zombie things, and they're freaky looking. They're like made out of metal, but also flesh at the same time. So it's different. It's very different than the apocalypse we're used to in the zombie realm. So that's pretty cool. So El Diablo and Harley kind of get cornered here. There's quite a few of them, and when they move, I guess the zombies, it's more like a metallic sound as they move forward. That's terrifying for me. But Voltaic has a really great hidden talent. So when he touches the metal in the chair, see if I can zoom in on this, make it a little bit better. So when he moves in, he's touching the chair, it fries everybody in the stadium. All the zombies in the stadium get zapped to death. And because his power, from what I understand, is he can manipulate the electricity through an electrical current. So obviously metal is a great conductor of electricity. So he's able to control it. So he's able to kill those who need killed and go around people who don't. And King Shark's happy. Hey, all his meat's cooked. All his meat is cooked. That's pretty cool. So they continue to do some fighting. Harley and Diablo make a break out of it because El Diablo releases like this big fire thing. He doesn't do the whole transformation thing, but he's able to blast the ones that need blasted. So I'm trying to not go too far ahead here because there's some major spoilers. So so here's they find the mission, and it's this young lady. She's visually, it's obvious that she's pregnant, but she's also semi-alert to what's happening to her, and she's begging the Suicide Squad to kill her. And Of course, El Diablo is, saying absolutely not. We're not killing any pregnant mother. It's not going to happen. And she says, listen, save my baby, kill me, please. As Deadshot kind of winds up for the kill shot, he's stopped by El Diablo, but it's too late. The mom is really starting to, transform into this big blob zombie thing. And she's making quick work of the entire Suicide Squad. This big octopus tentacle thing. And, they go, they're pretty incapacitated at that point. So as the zombie mom is like getting ready to like eat Harley, King Shark bites her head off, which kind of ends the whole encounter. Headshot, way to go, Jabberjaw, Harley says, and then he spits it out. Says it tastes funny. So Deadshot is looks like he's gonna stab, through this mom to get the baby, but in reality, he cuts the baby out and says, "Hey, this was the package we were here to get. This is the mission, you donut. So follow me. Let's get out of here." So, yeah. So they're getting ready for the helicopter evac. The whole stadium is fried. And he's communicating with Waller. Okay, all the zombies are dead. The supervillain went nuts. That's what they're going to blame this on. They're going to blame this on a supervillain who absolutely went nuts and killed everybody. And we killed, or no, not we, but somebody killed the villain. And Voltaic says, that sounds like a great idea, but aren't you going to need a body for something like that? And here's the big cliffhanger scene here. And he said, yeah, we sure are. And he shoots Voltaic right in the head.
Damn.
Sure are going to need a body. And thanks for volunteering. Which is why it makes sense why he was letting Voltaic kill all these people. Because now it looks like he just went nuts. So he's radiating to Waller that they're mission accomplished. We got our stuff. Dead bodies in place. Send the helicopter. And the man in Waller says, time out. Can't send a helicopter. LZ's too hot. And the military's got that place on lockdown. There's no way I'm going to be able to get you guys out of here. You have 3 hours to get to the next LZ, or Suicide Squad's going to get killed. And that's where we leave off on issue 2.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I can see movie potential on this. So what did this series last? Like 30 issues, I think, right?
It was a long run.
Yeah. So your thoughts on the 2 issues that we read tonight and the story, the potential?
I love New 52 Suicide Squad. It's one of my favorite versions of them. Just because it was high stakes. I'm not going to ruin a lot of the story, but there's a lot of high stakes, and the Suicide Squad really shows that if they got to take out people to complete the mission, by all means, they're going to be taking people out, just like they showed in issue 2. Like they shot one of their own, which I think was pretty unique. It makes me think, like, what if he didn't pass Waller's test? I mean, then what do they do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which I think is why he was trying to get El Diablo to like fire up a little bit. So he would have a plan B. He could play those 2 guys off each other and then just execute one or both of them.
Yeah, but I think that the reason that he didn't is because of what we showed in the story that I read, because it's his past origin. He feels the guilt of killing all those innocent people because he didn't think everything through. So he's like, if I act, I might not be thinking everything through again and do the same thing.
Which is
at least that's what I took from it. Yeah, at least that's what I took from it.
I think Deadshot noticed that, which is why he was, egging on Voltaic, like, "Oh man, you're so good, like, heck yeah, do that again, that's so cool." And then bam, shoots him right at the end, like, "Thanks, buddy." Yeah. I think he was going to do that to El Diablo, if Voltaic didn't. He's going to try to get El Diablo to fire up and kill everybody. But he did it to Voltaic, so. But I agree that there's reasons why El Diablo didn't. But this is good. I like it.
You know what I don't like about Hollywood's influence on Suicide Squad?
What?
They have made Amanda Waller slimmer, more petite, and camera friendly.
Oh, in comics?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's no reason that she can't just be a plus sized woman.
And then there's some iterations of her where they just went bonkers with it. I mean, she's huge.
Yeah.
She's got these. She's big and she's got these little tiny feet with these high heels on all the time. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I don't like. I'm like, what's wrong with how she looked originally?
But I think they knocked it out of the park with casting Viola Davis.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. I'm excited for Waller. Hopefully that's still happening.
You mean you wouldn't have cast Tyler Perry as Amanda Waller?
That would be so dumb. But he's got to be doing his character the whole time.
Medea?
He's got to be doing Medea the whole time. Medina takes over Task Force X.
I'll tell you,
crossover that nobody asked for.
This has nothing to do with superheroes, but this gives me a chance to give a hot take right here, okay? Tyler Perry's Medea needs to do a team up with Vicki Lawrence's Mama. You know Mama from Mama's Family?
Yeah.
Those two together on a Thelma and Louise adventure.
I remember that movie. Martin Lawrence, right? Was Martin Lawrence? Yeah, Martin Lawrence. Big Mama's House.
Yeah, Big Mama's House. I'm talking Mama's Family, the TV show. So.
Oh, I thought you said Martin Lawrence.
No. Vicki Lawrence. If I said Martin Lawrence, I apologize. Vicki Lawrence as Mama from Mama's Family.
Okay.
My personal favorite show of just a little podcast. Just throwing that
Either
out
one.
There. Link.
Or why not add all three of them?
Have it all. Cool. Make it Burger King. Have it your way.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
Yeah, that was that's probably one of the more interesting Suicide Squad runs. It came out in 2011 and ended in 2014, I think. I don't remember, but it went on for a long time. It was gone for a long time. Highly recommended, though. Highly recommended. It's a great run, and in my opinion, that's the best iteration of Harley Quinn, whether she be in Suicide Squad or not, because we get the villain Harley Quinn. We don't get this kind of good Harley Quinn where she's teaming up with Batman and she's in the Batcave or the Justice League Tower. Like, no, this is evil Harley Quinn, the best version of that. So,
speaking of Suicide Squad, I do see that there is a Suicide Squad omnibus coming out in May.
I'm probably not going to get it.
Yeah, you're not an Omni fan.
I'm not.
You're just not a reprint fan, I think.
I'm not a reprint fan because if I get the reprint, let me back up. I will only get the reprint if I already have the issue.
So you'll make the reprint your reader copy.
Oh, man, even that's not necessarily true because there's exceptions. Long story short, I'm very picky about reprints and facsimiles. I don't know why. I don't know what my own criteria is. I can think of maybe 3 issues that I have that are reprints. And 2 of them are Shazam issues. Well, I don't know. Now, it's different if I go to when the Shazam movie came out. You got a reprint of that comic if you went to the movie. Completely different because they're giving it to you at the front. It's heck yeah, cool. Those are different. Those don't count.
Okay. Well, as we segue into our book show portion, what you said is just ties in so perfectly that I'm going to go first because my book show is this.
Oh, I need that. I need that run.
I got this as a gift from Mr. Fridge Art. And this is the AMC version of Suicide Squad, which reprints not the new 52 volume that we just talked about, but it reprints the 2019 volume 1 issue, which I think is volume 4, if I remember. But this is the exclusive cover for it and kind of fun. I thought that would be neat to show as a book show. Hey, Scott, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Talking about what's going on my channel and what's coming up on my channel. I did a comic book editions video this past week. I made a huge change to my how I'm collecting a certain title, and that's what I talked about. The video's done pretty good for me, so I appreciate that. And I appreciate those that watched. I also, in the video, showed off some... I bought some comic book packs from Ollie's, and I unbagged them in there. I got stuff from, from a bunch of different eras, and I got a very cool variant, I thought, for a Flash issue. So you can check all that out. That's currently on my channel. That's my current comic book editions video. I have my back issue of the week YouTube short. All month long for March, I'm doing International Women's History Month. And currently, the back issue of the week is Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel during her time. Tomorrow will be a DC Comics female from my collection. So, Tony, the characters that I tried to choose when I celebrate International Women's History Month, I'm trying to do characters out of my female characters out of my collection that had their own headlining comic book.
Okay.
That's kind of my criteria of who I'm choosing. And I got a DC Comics character falling in line for tomorrow. So make sure to look for that. And you'll get a bonus one of those because there's actually 5 Mondays in the month of March. So you'll get another International Women's History edition on the 31st as well. So that's what's currently on my channel. Signature King, what's going on in your channel, and what do you have for a book show?
Book show here. I'm also going to show off, some cool Suicide Squad goodness. I have DC Universe Rebirth #1 Suicide Squad signed here by cover artist Jim Lee.
Nice.
So the super cool convention foil from New York Comic Con. So being a Suicide Squad fan, being a Jim Lee fan, when I got the chance to meet him, no brainer. Absolutely no brainer. Coming up on the channel, lots of shorts. A lot of content coming. I know I keep talking about it, but if CBCS would just send me my books, there's a lot of content in there that I'm very excited to share with you. There's also
I know when those books are coming.
When? If you had to
when
guess.
You go out of town.
They're gonna be as soon as I leave.
As soon as you leave town, that's when they're coming.
Which honestly wouldn't be bad, because with the content that's coming with going out of town, that's even more content. That's going to give me a lot of stuff to work with, which is not something I'm used to. I'm not really having a whole lot of like long video content. I'm mostly just sticking to shorts, but I really like to talk about, comic book related events I might attend. So that's kind of fun. Lots of conventions coming up here in my neck of the woods, including an additional one that's brand new that I will be attending. And what's surprising with that one is the names that are going with that. Just
oh yeah,
those are some big names for this little tiny con.
That's cool.
So it's like, okay, I'm definitely going to check it out.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I'm excited for that. Yeah, and lots of cool comic stuff coming. What is it, March 23rd? So yeah, about a month from now, we'll be getting some cool stuff on my channel. So please stay tuned. And I don't think you'll regret it. It'll be a lot of fun.
You can share a cover with us on Instagram. Use the hashtag Fanboys Live in the Retro Review and submit your own book show portion from home. Just use that hashtag so we can make sure that we see your posts too. And that would be awesome if you want to participate. That if you're watching the rewind, you're more than welcome to do that as well. Subscribe to everyone's channel. There are links in the description for this video. Sub up everyone that's in the chat as well. So we've got a few minutes left. If there's anything else or anything else you want to talk about, or
yeah, let me. I did pick up some books. They are around here somewhere. And one of them was a cool little foil. Just got to remember which one it is. I got so much stuff going on here. Trips to the LCS, all that good jazz. Hacking, trying to find ways that I'm going to transport all this stuff.
I also want to say to Super Russ, who's in the chat, if he hasn't left yet already. Russ, I have an idea for a retro review that I think that you would be perfect for. Probably not in April, but maybe in May. So if you're still there and if you're interested in coming back as a returning guest, I actually have a topic that I think that she would be just perfect for the retro review. So just FYI.
Yes, very true. Come on, Russ. So as you can see, this book is very foily.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the Flash, absolute Flash.
Oh, nice.
The foil cover. And this is by the Nick Robles. I think that's how you say his name, Nick Robles. This is cover F.
For Flash.
or for Flash,
foil.
either one. Or
Okay.
foil Flash, I don't know.
Yeah.
So this is pretty cool. And one thing I'll share with you, Mr. Lasso, is I was hoping that at the event that I'm attending in the future, that there's going to be more people there to maybe do some signing on this, but there are none, which is surprising. Not a single one.
Wow.
And that's sad because that's a cool cover. I'd love to get.
And because of you, I have that cover in my collection. So
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, you A-okay that to me.
I totally forgot. The price on it, like I couldn't say no because I paid. When it came out, was it $9 a cover?
Something like that.
$10 a cover. Yeah, I found it for $4 a piece.
Oh wow!
So I'm like, yeah, let me get two. I might have gotten a third, just in case, but yeah. Yeah, I can sit here and talk about books all day, man.
Cool.
Definitely working on some of my signatures in terms of what kind of ink I'm going to be using. So that's kind of neat. I've got a top loader here with some scribbles on it to simulate signatures. You'd be surprised how much gold goes with everything.
Yeah.
Gold goes with absolutely everything. And it's sickening because there's lots of colors I would love to use, but I can't deny how good, like gold would look good on here, right? Gold would look great on here. I'm definitely bringing my own markers because I'm afraid I'm going to run into the scenario that I ran into last year at Baltimore. Everyone just has black. And there's some covers that black it won't work because it's a dark cover. Including, I'll tell you this when we sign off here, but I'll tease everyone with this. There's someone that is going to sign a book for me that is incredibly unique. It's a DC book and it's a Batman book that they wrote. It's one of those times where DC brings in like a guest where these stars are aligning. I've never got a chance to meet this person. So I'm finally getting a chance.
I think I know who it is, but I'm not saying.
Perfect. But that's going to happen.
I am saying
here.
Hello to Kenneth Bird, though.
That we can say. Hello to Kenneth Bird.
Is it Kenneth Bird who's signing it?
Yes.
I knew it. I knew it.
But I'll leave you with that. It's going to be I'm the only person that I know of that will have the signature. And I looked on the CGC and the CBCS census. There's only 5 total that have been graded by both companies. So, and I'll have one.
So I want to show, we got less than 90 seconds left in the show, but last week I did some unboxings for these Funko candy things with the cards. I bought some more. So I just want to show some of the characters that I've gotten so far. So I have Flash.
And on the back, you said it's just trivia?
Trivia on the front.
Oh, trivia on the front. Is there anything on the back?
No, nothing on the back.
Ah, okay.
Aquaman. Batman. Another Batman. Supergirl. So that's where I'm at. Still no Wonder Woman, but the place that I buy them at, the convenience store, has a brand new pack, so I know she's in there somewhere. But they're like $3 a thing of candy bar. I almost went today and I didn't go.
What's the convenience store?
Quick Trip.
Quick Trip? Oh, it's not Casey's? Okay.
No, it's not Casey's. So if you have Wonder Woman, get in touch with me. Maybe we can do a little trade-o.
So if you did get a Wonder Woman one, is it just you're just gonna put on like on a card display, or
I just hold on to it? It's for my collection. So
okay, very cool.
Yeah, that's how. There's
a Wonder Woman Funko on your shirt.
There is. She needs to get on my card now.
You need to wear that.
Wear that when I buy it, and then you're right. That's good luck. You've been watching the greatest DC comic show on YouTube. You've been watching Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a happy, healthy, and safe week. Take care. Bye.